You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, YNR fans, I've got your early edition spoilers for February 17th through the 21st. Victor is unhinged, Nick is cuddly, and Amy is panicking. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, please click subscribe. As we always do on Early Edition Day, we start with what's coming the rest of this week. So let's kick off with Wednesday, February 12th. Sharon is talking to Summer about her being exonerated, but also realizes that she's probably still mad about her framing Daniel. And Summer just wants to move on, but when Sharon keeps pushing about trying to make it better, Summer tells her, look, words are not going to fix anything. You know, she's glad that Sharon's feeling okay, but it's not over her lying and framing Daniel. And of course, Nick is there trying to pressure Supergirl to forgive Sharon, but Summer is not going to be rushed. She feels no reason to forgive this woman anytime soon and tells Nick, sorry. And Sharon, of course, is telling Nick that she is hurt by Summer still hating on her, but she gets it. Sharon's still talking about thinking she should pay for her crimes, but Nick's like, just drop it, give it time, takes her to breakfast. Claire and Summer talk about Harrison and about Victor. And Summer says she's sorry she messed up their dinner plan. She's not really. And Claire talks about trying to make peace between Kyle and Victor. Summer says Victor's not going to change his mind. Claire's trying to get some understanding from Summer of why Victor hates the Abbotts so much. And Summer says, this predates Kyle. This is a thing that's been going on a long time. But she also reveals that Victor never hassled her about Kyle, which is, of course, interesting. And what's funny is Summer's going to tell her things are going to work out as they should. But what Summer means is, as in, he should be with me, not you. And Phyllis is bugging Daniel about whether he's going to take the job at Billy's new company. And he finally agrees, mostly because he has no other options. And Phyllis wants to call Billy and tell him the big news. But Daniel says, he's on a romantic trip with Sally in Paris. Phyllis doesn't care, tries to call. Billy ignores the call. Phyllis leaves a very excited message. And Phyllis is also insisting to Daniel that it's a business trip, not a romantic trip, and talks about Sally being on Billy like fungus and that Billy deserves better. Phyllis is just unhinged. She and Victor both are unhinged these 2 weeks and is talking crazy stuff about Sally whispering in Billy's ear, undermining her, none of which is really happening. And, Daniel's not seeing it. He says Billy makes up his own mind. And then he wants to know if his mom is hot for Billy. And of course she denies it, says they're just friends. And Phyllis is talking about how Sally is a distraction. Daniel feels like his mom's going to blow this whole thing up. And he wants to find a way to honor Heather through this new job opportunity. Sharon and Nick run into them at Society, and Phyllis is snarky per usual and tells Nick to check the pancakes for PCP. That's really nice. And Phyllis says that they need to go before she snaps on her. And Nick is trying to smooth things over with Sharon, make it where it's less awkward. In Paris, Sally and Billy are staying at Ashley's apartment because she's in London. They head out for a big night in the City of Lights, but get soaked by a rainstorm, come home, take off their clothes, do the deed, have lots of fun. Meanwhile, Phyllis keeps trying to call while Billy is ignoring her because he is intently making love to his girlfriend. Thursday, February 13th, Damian's best friend Holden, aka Fake Damian, knows somebody in Genoa City. It's an old acquaintance of his, and he looks them up, and I'm super curious to see who that is. Lily and Devon are very worried about Nate, and they want him to tread carefully with Damian, who seems like a pretty angry guy, but we don't know his whole backstory. Phyllis lays out some ground rules, and this may be about her and Daniel working together or some of her other drama with so many people in town. Also, Billy is in Paris in bed with Sally, seems to be there all week long. So the spoiler photo of Billy dancing with Phyllis looks increasingly like she may be daydreaming about Billy, fresh off denying that she's into him when she was talking to Daniel. On Friday, February 14th, it is Valentine's Day in Genoa City, and Nick and Sharon are looking cuddly at Crimson Lights. Other romance for new couples is among the spoilers, and so sounds like more action in Paris for Billy and Sally. Also for new couples, Claire and Kyle, and Audra and Nate. But there's another spoiler saying some old flames heat up too. This could be existing couples like Diana and Jack and Victor or Nikki, but that's not really, old flames sounds like exes, more like Nick and Sharon and his brother Adam and Chelsea. And that seems to be happening. I mean, they just need to do something, right? All right, the week of February 17th through the 21st, Billy and Sally's romance was fully blossoming in Paris, takes them to new heights, kind of moves them beyond casual into something a little more, but their return to Genoa City comes with obstacles as Phyllis has decided to get between them and split them up because, you know, Sally is fungus and Billy deserves better and Phyllis thinks she's the better option. Have we met Phyllis, right? Daniel worries that his mom's fixation on Billy and Sally are going to mess up things for them at Abbott Communications. But of course, there is no reining in his mother, especially when she's in a state of lying and denying like she is right now, like she tends to do a lot. Damian needs time to cool off. And he's going to talk to Holden about the whole shock about Amy dying and him having this half brother. And of course, his dad not being his dad. It's just a lot for him to deal with. Holden advises Damian to give his mom another chance before it's too late and maybe just hear his brother out just to see if there's something there. Nate is very stressed about the limited time that Amy has left and her son rejecting her, but Devon and Lily want him to take a step back. He's not going to. Victor persists in his increasingly aggressive plans to strike at Kyle and ruin his romance with Claire. Summer, of course, is cheering on her grandpa and his breakup plan because she wants to scoop up Kyle. But Nick and Victoria both think that their dad is being unhinged. Victoria remains vigilant about her dad's probably really interfering with Claire and Kyle. But Victor is adamant and he is all fired up in his hatred of all things Abbott. And the Newmans all start to worry about him going to extremes because that's what Victor does. Sharon continues her healing journey with Nick at her side, and things are looking promising for these two. Can't wait to see that.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.